like a domino effect. So if the grass is gone, then think about the animals, they're gonna die out, and boom, we don't get meat. So
Yeah, but then at some point, you can make the argument, hey, we can probably fix that problem with creating artificial foods, right? We
right.
just grow it out of a lab, and it's almost the same nutritional value, but it's not really produced organically.
So we're
But then again, that creates another problem, right? There's always a cycle of problems that end up happening when we solve some sort of solution due to overpopulation.
yeah, overpopulation is definitely like an interesting topic because also think about 100 years ago, we had two different words.
What the is we doing?
This is a conversation between friends.
None of what is said here should be taken as legal advice.
We are not experts in any way.
Take what resonates and leave the rest.
Go for it.
All right. Welcome back, everybody. So, on today's podcast or show, we are talking about overpopulation on our foundation section. On the fitness, we have commercial gyms versus private gyms. And on the finance, we have what credit cards are worth having and news updates at the end. So, let's see what we got. What do you got, Mike? Overpopulation. Too many of us?
Too many of us, definitely. Definitely. I definitely agree that there's so many humans in the world, but at the same time, they're just kind of like they just live in one specific areas. Like like how cities are built is because it's close to like a water resource and close to like for trading usually. Like before, like back in the days, usually a city was going to be settled down by a river, mainly for you need water, first of all, and you need transportation. So I feel like there's an overpopulation in just specific areas. But when you look at it like the globe, there's plenty of space, for everybody. Like just go to Long Island or come to like Westchester and you see like the spaces, like people have huge houses and then you go to the city and there's so many homeless people. You know what I mean?
Right.
So what is the issue? Actually, we picked this topic like at the last moment because we just started talking about it. But
yeah, prior to starting the little show here, we started talking about overpopulation, and there's a potential now with the COVID vaccine that they could be sterilizing people such that if you try to have kids and you have the vaccine in your system, there's a potential that you might not actually be able to. So then that just brings us to like, what's the whole point of that? And obviously it would be due to wanting to control the population because either there's too many people now or there's going to be too many people in the future. So they want to limit that before we get to that point.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like overpopulation always been an issue and it has historically growth more and more with time, especially once, like the Catholic Church and whatever, they pretty much took control over Europe and the world. Is like just certain religions that don't allow you to use protection. You just gotta go with it. So
Right.
Humans or needs, one of our needs is to have sex and to develop that. Well, we're humans, so that's nature.
Procreate. We got to procreate and
Yeah.
push forward with the species.
Now with all the laws about abortion, like I don't know if you heard about Argentina's passing a law legalizing abortion. So any woman can have an abortion inside of the 14 weeks period, something like that. But it's a very big, I would say, path or steps living towards like a more, giving freedom to everybody at the same time,
Right.
and also controlling, because sometimes the people who has the most children is always going to be like it's hard. Like a children is expensive to put it like
Right.
in a way, and sometimes like people they don't have cannot afford condoms, even though most of the time condoms are free.
Bro,
But-
no, I feel like everybody can afford condoms. People just don't like using them. A condom is literally less than $1.
that too. But still, like like sometimes we see that it becomes an issue when there's certain laws that prohibit you to
Right.
get an abortion, or it's just, I think it's good, I would say. I don't
See,
know.
that lies the problem, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We're the guys, so like for us, it's just like, well, I mean, we don't really have to deal too much with it, because we don't actually have to have a baby. But hypothetically, if you're going to be the kind of guy that sticks around and
Mhm.
raises a child, that brings into question the fact that now you really have to get everything in order to raise a family. And a
Right.
lot of times that doesn't end up happening. And oftentimes what ends up happening is that a lot of these families end up going on like welfare, or they
Mhm.
start getting help from the government, which ends up becoming a burden overall to, the rest of the population. And then those kids end up having more kids, which ends up being a bigger problem.
It's just a
So
cycle.
it's a cycle. And then, like, how are you supposed to stop that? Because if you're telling people, hey, you can't have kids, then like, that's not going to happen.
I mean, China had some certain law about that, that you're
They
only allowed.
did. And right now they're facing a big issue where they have way too many men and almost no women because they just limited the amount of women that were born, or girls at that point.
Mhm.
So, it's an issue across the board.
For sure. And honestly, I feel like there's no problem that you can solve without causing, or maybe, yeah, like a domino effect, right? If you solve a problem, two others are gonna appear later on in the future, and that's something that we were talking about. Like, like if it sterilizes people, like, it's just. By the way, this is just, I don't know where you heard it. It's in my own,
Speculation, yes.
yeah, it's just a speculation. But if they want to like control the population, definitely women, they they're limited. I mentioned it before, like they're limited, like within those 9 month period that they're pregnant, they cannot get pregnant at the same time, nor I mean, technically you can get pregnant right after, but it's rare.
GG. Good
whereas
luck with that.
whereas humans, whereas men, we can have children during those 9 month period, and we can have multiple at the same time.
You
So
can have one child every single day while they are pregnant.
yeah, it's like, who would you aim towards, like controlling the population? You know
No,
what I
of
mean?
course, you would want to sterilize the men because they're the ones that, it's
It,
them that fertilize the egg and cause the child to be born.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. You brought up the argument in the beginning there, right? There's a lot of space in some parts of the world or wherever you live, and then there's densely populated areas like cities, New York, uh, California. Wherever you go across the pond, you go to China. China's way too densely populated in most of the places, but I'm pretty sure there's rural places where there's farming taking place where there's a lot of land there. Um, so I don't know, man. Like, in order for us to like make a definite conclusion or say what's definite, we would need to have all the data, and we don't. We're extremely limited. We don't really know. So yeah, I mean, just I would say if you're gonna have children, make sure that you're ready for them and don't have them at a point where it's going to be a problem for you and the other person and the families that are involved. And then if you
just
end up needing to take welfare because you just cannot afford it and nobody can help you, then that's probably a good indicator that you should probably focus on yourself and get yourself in order before you decide to bring life into this world. And then there's the other argument to be made that some people just don't care. They're just about themselves, and they're gonna have sex with people, and they're gonna pass along STDs, and then fertilize women, and then move along, and not really care. And to those people, I guess something has to come for them, right? Some solution has to come for that because those could be the people that are overpopulating us right now.
definitely. And I feel like most importantly, I think, is that resources in our planet are limited. So eventually, maybe our generation won't see clear causes about it, but maybe our children or grandchildren will start facing the scarcity of water, or just fresh air, or just because we have utilize, or kind of like, how you say it, like overutilize that land to, like, to create, or to farm, to create products. The land eventually also it will become like unfertile.
Mhm.
And then where do we get, like the veggies or like our food? And similar, it's just like a cycle. It's not actually, it's just like a domino effect. So if the grass is gone, then think about the animals, they're gonna die out, and boom, we don't get meat. So
Yeah,
on.
but then at some point, you can make the argument, hey, we can probably fix that problem with creating artificial foods, right? We
Right.
just grow it out of a lab, and it's almost the same nutritional value, but it's not really produced organically.
To
But
repeat.
then again, that creates another problem, right? There's always a cycle of problems that end up happening when we solve some sort of solution due to overpopulation.
Yeah, overpopulation is definitely like an interesting topic, because also think about 100 years ago, we had two different wars on that century, like
Mm.
two major wars, World War I and World War II, where, in my opinion, okay, this might sound shitty, what I'm gonna say, but it did help, kind of balance population and also help the economy, because during time of wars, the economy was blooming. That's when, we got out of the Great Depression and stuff like that. And at the same time, limiting, yeah, we like to kill each other. And okay, like it did regulate some aspects of population, but at the same time, it created other problems that's still happening nowadays.
Mm.
So, like I said, there's never a solution without a causing two different problems in the long term, like anything.
Right. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I guess like I said, the solution lies in, have children when you're ready. Don't have them when you're not.
Yeah,
And
definitely think it.
just be diligent about it. Don't just think that, just because I want to get off, that's enough. There's consequences to every action that you do. And sometimes, it's the most mundane things that can become one of the biggest problems. So, be diligent.
Yeah, don't be part of the problem.
Right.
There you go. I think that covers it. We can move on to fitness, commercials versus private gyms. So commercials, you
Mhm.
mean like Planet Fitness, Blink,
Big ones, right? The ones I work for, New York Sports Club. Well, I
New
work
York?
for that or some type of gym like that.
Okay.
Um,
Well, I can
so,
tell experience, and because I go to a private gym. Well,
mm,
just like one. It's not like a chain.
right.
Economically, like money wise, I think commercial gyms are a little bit cheaper. Private gyms, I pay 270 my yearly my year my year plan, which is not bad, honestly.
Right.
Uh, I never gone to like a commercial gym. Actually, no, I did used to work on Equinox when I was younger, but that was fancy. Another thing too, I would say that main difference is the equipment.
Yeah.
Something that I have heard before, or like some of the people that I know in the gym complain about commercial, like Planet Fitness specifically, is that it has limited weight. Like you cannot find a dumbbell higher than like 80 pounds, whereas
Hmm.
in gym it, it goes all the way up to like 100 or 120 pounds, which is like more.
Right.
And same thing, equipment. For example, in commercial gyms, you're usually gonna find like maybe one or two to do, squats like barbells. Whereas in
Squat
my gym,
racks.
yeah, there you go. That in my gym we have like four of them. It's
Mhm.
definitely more equipped, very well equipped. That's why I like to go there. And yeah, I think that's the major difference that I will see. I will say that there is.
Right, for sure. I mean, like even take for example the gym at college, right?
Mhm.
Um, for the most part, it kind of mimicked like half and half. It was a private commercial gym. It was private in the sense that the only way for you to attend is by going to school, but it was commercial in the way that they had the equipment set up, and it was stocked full of a lot of stuff. Don't get me wrong. Like that, if I remember correctly, there were what, six squat racks in the center, and then one off to the side with the Smith machine. So, That's usually a lot of squat racks for any gym. And this one was only one floor. Um, Like the gym I work for has 5 floors, and we only have 3 squat racks. So that tells you the difference, right? Most of the time, when you're looking at private gyms, you're really going to find, depending on the gym style, because you can go to a private gym that's only about yoga, but you can go to a private gym that's only about doing spin or cycling, right? Depends. It really just depends on the private gym, but usually they'll be more stocked up on whatever it is that you like doing, or
Right.
whatever you're planning on going for that gym to do, because they're usually specialized. As for commercial gyms, they have a tendency of being a little bit more well-rounded. They have a variety of equipment. They don't have a lot of it, or some of them. A lot sometimes, like my gym has like 50 or 60 different pieces of cardio equipment, so the shit is stocked full of everything. But most of the time, what you find with commercial gyms is that they have a little bit of everything. And with the restrictions now on COVID, some of these machines end up being restricted because they want to keep social distancing, so you can't use those machines. So that even places more restrictions. And commercial gyms are usually more in line with whatever guidance there is in terms of, whatever government decides that gyms should do. Whereas private gyms, sometimes they end up doing whatever they want. They allow people to wear masks or they don't. It really just depends on the clientele of the gym. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Definitely. Just in aspect of price, which one would you say is more convenient or more not affordable, but like your money worth?
Money worth, if you're going private gym, it's because you're going there because you're really committed to doing whatever that gym offers. Like you're really committed to yoga, and that gym and that private gym offers good yoga, or it offers yoga. It's usually going to be the best kind. You're going to find the best kind of quality there most of the time. As for commercial gyms, you're going to find pretty standard, borderline okay in terms of the quality, but it does its job. So again, going back to the price, if you're not somebody that's too interested in like doing specific things, then obviously commercial gyms are going to be the best bang for your buck. If you're going private gym because you're doing something specific, then obviously private gym is best bang for your buck.
Definitely. I completely agree with you. Yeah, for example, my gym is bodybuilders. Like a lot of bodybuilders come to my gym for that reason. That's why, like I said, there's plenty of equipment in heavy weights as well. Now, one thing too that you mentioned is that like commercial gyms, they're general. Usually, they keep in mind, they're trying to aim for the general public. Now, one advantage that I see the commercial gyms might have is that for an extra fee, you can utilize any of their facilities, like around the city, or for example, fitness has this the subscriptions that you pay. I'm not sure how much you pay, but like you can go to different
Planet Fitnesses, yeah,
around the city, and this is a really good advantage if you're traveling. Sometimes for most of the time you are going to find a gym on the hotel or wherever you're staying, but it clearly gives you an advantage. For example, if where you go and there's a Planet Fitness around the corner or something.
So yeah, man, there's a lot of value to both. I mean, if you can afford it, you could try to have both, right? You can have like a commercial gym and then a private gym because private gyms don't only just have to be about exercising, right? You can have private gyms that are about training martial arts. Like the jiu-jitsu school that I used to go to was a gym / a jiu-jitsu studio / there was a physical therapist upstairs that worked on, I mean, obviously you had to book his time separately, so that was a different service altogether, but it was a multi-purpose facility, but it was private. Now the price was like $200 a month because it's specified, right? And that goes back to topics that we talk about being really good at one specific thing or a couple specific things. When you specialize in something, you can charge more because people are going to you for that specific service.
Right.
Whereas for commercial gyms, since it offers pretty much a little bit of everything, but it doesn't offer anything well, then you can offer it for a substandard fee, and that's usually what ends up happening.
True. Definitely agree with that. All right, I think that covers it. Which one do you prefer?
Well, I mean, I work for commercial gyms, but I would definitely say private gyms usually have better quality
Mhm.
service wise. The employees that are working there, they usually offer a little bit better service, and it feels relatively more friendly. You
Friendly.
can build a better community there, as opposed to a commercial gym where usually employees are getting paid minimum wage, if not a little bit less. The people that you're going to find there are not really going to be the most friendly kind of people. They can be, don't get me wrong, but oftentimes it's not really what you're going to find.
Yeah, and it's gonna be a heavier rotation as well because
Mm-hmm.
commercial gyms are tend to be like bigger than private gyms.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to see different faces every time that you go. Whereas on private gyms, because it's small, you're usually gonna run up into like people that you already know, like at specific times and so.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I do prefer private gyms in my opinion. They do have better service and quality in that sense, and also like cleanliness, which is very important these times.
And it's smaller, right? So it's easier to clean relative to commercial gyms.
Definitely, definitely. All right, so finance. Moving on, let's go to finance. What credit cards are worth having? This is a really good topic actually. Um,
Mm.
I've been meaning to talk about this for a while now, but let's just start with you. Which credit cards do you have, and which one you think is worth having? So you
So
want
right now, I only have two, and pretty much the most basic ones. So I have a Capital One. I think it's just like the base level. There's not really any kind of reward to it. And then I have the Amazon Prime card, which I usually buy all my shit from Amazon, so I get a lot of rewards from that.
right?
Um, so those are the credit cards that I have. But I would say in terms of the ones worth having, there's a lot of really good ones out there that offer some really good rewards. Capital One has this, I think it's called Capital One Venture Card, which
Mhm.
is specifically dealing with flights. So you get, for whatever spending that you do, you end up getting rewarded with points for your flying miles, right? And if you're somebody that likes to travel, that can add up pretty quickly. You can actually just start traveling for free with those Capital One card or rewards points. Um, Cashback cards, right? There's other ones that offer. Well, what else do they offer? Do you know of any other cards that offer different services?
Yeah, so usually it's with hospitality, which
Mm,
includes traveling and stuff like that. Well, oh, you mean in terms of rewards? Yeah, so there's points and cashback.
right.
And no, that's pretty much it. Those are the most basic.
Hmm. Yeah, I can't think of anything else.
Mm-hmm. But in my situation, I also have two credit cards. I have loyalty to Citibank, so I have the Citibank Double Cash. It's double in every purchase. Really good card in my opinion. What I like about it is that it's 2% regardless the purchase that you make. Like you see how some cards they're specific about like traveling or like restaurants or groceries. Because this is my daily card, I don't really have time to be like for gas or for groceries or for restaurants. And it's 2% for any purchases that I make. So 1% I get it when I utilize it, when I buy it, and the other percent I get it when I pay the credit card. So it's really good. Gives me a check, and yeah. So that's that. Oh yes. So the cashback accumulates really fast. Actually, it's really nice to see that. And sometimes um, here and there, like I utilize it to like even pay the credit card back. I mean, you can do that, or you can also redeem for points, or you say on Amazon. Really good. I do love the app, the Citibank app, the
Hmm.
Citibank app. Really well designed, very good. So that, and also my check-ins account is with a Citibank. That's why I have that. I did start with a thank you Citibank, that thank you card when I was 18. Then I closed
Hmm.
that. Then I switched to the double cashback, which in my opinion is better as an adult when you have to buy multiple things.
Hmm.
Now my other one is for the big purchases, so things that maybe because this one gives me a little bit more credit. Is the Capital One Silver Quicksilver. So I don't know if you have heard it. It's also cash backed, but the reward is 1.5 if I'm not mistaken on anything as well, and it's unlimited. You can add up and it adds up really quick. And this one, what I like about this one is because they give me the most credit than any other cards. So I was like, this is gonna be my big purchase. So if I need to buy something expensive, boom, I just put it on that credit card. Or before, when I was also paying for my tuition, I utilized that card to pay for my tuition and then just quickly pay back from my checkings. So this one, really liked it. One that I wanna check, or I've been keeping an eye on, is the Chase Freedom Chase.
Sapphire, maybe.
No, no Sapphire. It's the unlimited. Let me Google it. Chase Unlimited Freedom. What I like about this one is that it's 5% cashback at grocery stores, and 3%.
5%. Wow.
Yeah, it's just really good. And 3% on dining and restaurants, and then same thing. There's no what is it called, annual fee. So this one, I think I would be switching or adding to my credit card collection, I would say, because the reward to join it is also like $500 if you, oh no, $200. And this is one of the things that I kind of look at when I'm signing for a credit card, or when I sign for mine, is the rewards. So as soon as you, for example, if you have to buy a big purchase, like some credit cards, they give you like points of mileage. Their credit cards like miles, yeah. So there's points, cashback, and miles. But they give you like a really good reward as soon as you join, just for joining. But you know, something like I've seen people like literally do this as a hobby, sign up for credit cards just to, you know, to take the advantage, and after a while they close it, they take that reward, boom, or they can keep it, up to them. But at the same time, like we mentioned before, it's not healthy or it's not recommendable to have more than, I would say, 3 to 4 credit cards. Like for example, have one daily, one that you're paying for like big purchases, and another one just for emergency or something. That's very much it. That's my goal. Like, to be honest, so my 2 credit cards, one is a MasterCard, the other one is the Visa, and I do kind of want to see that Amex on my wallet sooner or later. But yeah, that's the credit cards that I like. So in my opinion, so just to answer the question, which one is the best or the most worth having, it will depend on the person that has the credit card. So it depends on what point of your life are, if you're a student, if you dine out a lot, if you fly a lot. So you have to see where your most spendings are going towards to. For example, if you're flying a lot, right? Get a credit card that gives you points or miles for flying. If you like to eat out a lot, maybe you like doing groceries, find the credit card that gives you the most rewards, points or cash when you're spending the money on that area. Now there is another one. I forgot. I cannot remember from the top of my head. It's one that gives you the same thing. It lets you choose which section you want to get the most points. I think it's a Capital One as well, but
probably
not sure. Now, in my opinion, the best that for like a person like me, you know, like college student or just young adult or just to start building a credit, I would recommend the City Double Cashback or the Chase Unlimited Freedom, just because it's kind of like overall. So it gives you, you know, you're buying your stuff, you're going out and stuff, but you don't have to really utilize
think about it. Yeah.
Thing. So that's my opinion. Cannot say, you know, they're the best, but in one advantage also, the City Double Cash is a MasterCard, whereas the Chase Unlimited Freedom is a Visa. So they definitely, you know, they're gonna be accepted worldwide, regardless where you go. And they both zero. There's no annual fee, and they both give you. It ranges from 14 to like 29% APR. So that also depends on you. It will depend on you. At the end of the day, if you try to keep it lower than 20, is really good. So that's why you start building your credit, paying on time, being responsible about it, because a credit card, it is a responsibility. Not what is it called? Not over utilizing it as well, because you don't want to be in debt unless
Yep.
it's beneficial for you. But yeah, so
Yep,
that's
yep, yep. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I would probably recommend the same amount or the same cards as well. Usually the ones that give you cash back is usually going to be the one you want to go with. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I think that covers that.
definitely. Oh, and also if you are one of those persons that like to fly a lot, if you book your plane ticket through the reward systems of the bank, for example, I had Citibank and I booked my flight when back when I had the thank you points or whatever. They give you like they actually give you a better price if you book it directly through the bank, and also it's secure.
Nice.
It's like they cover the insurance or whatever. Like it has some advantages, so definitely look into that as well, because like I said, it has some advantages, but also you gotta be diligent about where your money is going, about
Hmm.
know yourself, like where are you spending the most money at. All right, so let's wrap it up because it's getting lengthy, but that's pretty much it. We can definitely analyze a little bit more this later on, but
Hmm.
I think that's a good beginning. Do you have any news?
News updates. Well, I mean, I don't know. Obviously, you knew about it, but Bitcoin fell pretty hard
Mm-hmm.
today and last night into today. Actually, it's been falling pretty consistently. Seemingly it bounced around 30K, 30,000, and then we're waiting to see what happens there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can't really expect anything less given how much it's ran up recently. Like strong uptrends are usually going to be followed by strong pullbacks,
Yeah, it
and
might sit down for a while now.
it could be, or it could just bounce right back up. That's the nature of the game, man. A lot of it, like honestly, the more I've been trading recently, the more I've been seeing that all you have to do is ride the thing like a bull. You ride it like a bull for as long as you can through the
Mm-hmm.
highs and the lows. And all you have to do is get out at a high point
Yep.
because eventually it's going to dip again and then it's going to come back up, maybe a little bit higher than previously or maybe at the same level. But if you just ride it, ride the wave, just get out at the top. That's it. That's all you got to do. That's how you win the game.
Yeah, it's just a game. It's a game, and you get used to it. You see the patterns, and you learn as you trade more often as well. That's something that I've been learning
Mhm.
this past month almost. Very good. All right. So some news on my end. I'm the news guy. I follow news pretty close daily.
Pretty religiously. No, my thing is just trading. You talk about trading, I'm there. Talking about the news, that's all you.
Cool.
So
Okay.
what do
So
you got?
the Paycheck Protection Program start rolling the checks for the small businesses. So with 284 billion in fresh funding from the second stimulus package, they start rolling it soon. So helping, but they're trying to do it on the best way possible, just to avoid the fraud that happened on last April when the first stimulus package went through. There was a lot of fraud. A lot of people took advantage of that, and especially big corporations took advantage of that. People or companies that didn't really need the money to begin with.
Right.
Now, there is a convention, like very very popular convention. I actually want to go someday in Las Vegas, right? Is where
Mhm.
all the new tech comes out. It's a nerdy stuff, but yes, I can be said I'm a little nerd, but yeah.
You're a computer engineer or a computer science major. What are you talking about?
True. I
You're
mean,
the nerdiest one of us all.
okay, so that convention usually happens in the Vegas, and a lot of business happens during this time. So last year it attract almost like 100,000 people to the city. Restaurants, almost say hospitals, all
Could
related
be in
to
the hospitals as well.
hospital as well. So it's a big business, right? This year they're planning it to do it everything remote. So I want to see. I was looking into like how can I get like a ticket or something to see that cool tech. Now there's interesting technology that a lot of people are looking towards to, or like kind of like excited for. So COVID tech, things related to COVID. So from smart air purifiers to PCs with better webcams for remote work. So they want to see that all the challenge, all the cool tech that they developed throughout this pandemic to confront the pandemic and make it a little bit easier. Now 5G is gonna be a big talk because companies like Verizon will show what's their next generation wireless technology and explain how it will influence a specific sector, such as now that we leaning towards a self-driving cars, how it's gonna help improve that technology and connect. Now Samsung, the South Korean tech, is actually gonna hold a separate event on the last day of the convention to reveal its latest version of the flagship smartphone, Galaxy S25. No,
Uh,
S21.
25. Jesus Christ, you jumped like 5 generations.
It's actually 21. They skip generations.
Yeah, they went from 10 to 20, right?
Yeah, it's because of the year 21, I guess. All right, and then other than that, we have okay. So a Boeing 737 operated by Indonesia's is a weird name Air crashed into the sea shortly after takeoff from Jakarta on Saturday. It was carrying 62 people. Now, this is definitely going to have a negative effect on Boeing,
It
especially
has
because,
already, actually.
yeah, it has already, but no, the US actually approved that 737s back into the market. And that's why we saw a little boost last month. But now with this news, it's definitely going to keep on the red. The US, the US, the US will ease restrictions on interactions between Americans and Taiwanese officials in a move meant to rival up China, which it did. All right, Apple and Hyundai are nearing to a deal to produce autonomous electric cars around 2024. So, competitions
Here
for
comes.
everybody's trying to get into that.
Mm-hmm.
About 6.7 million people have been vaccinated against the COVID-19 in the US, including 4 million in long-term care facilities. Over 22 million doses have been distributed to the state. And also, now that we're talking about the pandemic, Pfizer and biotech is planning to have 200 billion, produce 200 billion vaccines this year. So it's 50% more than they actually
200 million or 200 billion?
with the B, a billion.
Billion.
Yeah, so definitely look out for that their ticker, like Pfizer's, and everything that is related to like building the vaccine, honestly.
All right.
And last but not least, we have Neo. Neo Day happened on what, Saturday? Do you look at it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So he announced like the biggest battery pack ever. Investors reward Neo in a kind company highest record stock hitting 69.57. So I won't be surprised by the end of this week it doesn't end up over 70. So that's my speculation for that. And one last thing also, I forgot, I think I was mentioning to you, Walmart announced plans to launch a fintech startup with River Capital, a VC firm backing Robinhood. So Walmart definitely trying to make competition to Amazon, and it's getting into the financial sector now. Well, we'll see how that goes. It's definitely like about investing and saving monies. So we'll see how that goes, how successful it becomes, because there's so many things out there that everybody's trying to get their their share of the pie. All right.
Hey, man. There's enough out there. Why not?
Facts. Well, that covers it today. It was a bit slow, but welcome back. And this is
That's